Hello, and welcome to The Lion Roars, brought to you by Penn State University, Abington College. I'm Dr. Moylan Mills. I'm Professor Emeritus of Integrative Arts at Abington College. Today our topic is the arts and cultural outreach programs for the community. At Penn State, of course, our prime mission is the education of our students. However, we also have another mission, and that is to provide educational opportunities to members of our close community and farther community, Abington and other regions. So we're going to talk about these important programs today, and my guest is Pamela Brobst, Special Events Coordinator at Abington College. Hello, Pam. Welcome to The Lion Roars.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Good. It's great to be with you. And I'm going to start by asking you approximately how many of these arts and cultural events do we have during the course of a year?
Let's see. Over the course of a year, it probably varies. Probably, I would say, maybe around 40 events, give or take, of course.
Sure.
And typically
they're
that's
spread over the year.
Exactly. Yeah. Typically that's spread into our two traditional academic semesters. So we would say maybe about 20 in the fall semester and then 20 in the spring semester. And we don't have programs in the summer just because it's a real tough time, to get people to slow down and not be on vacation to attend the events. So yeah, these the programs seem to work really, really well. And over the course of the years, we have really established a really core group of people, attendees that really like it, and I think it's really great for the college.
Yeah. Now, can you tell us about some of the variety of the programs? But before you do that, let me make a full disclosure. I do a lot of work with this program, and I think these programs are very important. So from time to time, I'm going to jump in and probably talk about the programs from my own viewpoint. But first, Pam, tell us some of the various programs that we have.
Sure. Like I said, obviously, for the most part, we like to try to have them fall under the very broad umbrella of arts and culture. And again, a common thread that runs through all is, of course, the educational component. So we certainly like to bring people to campus and entertain them through the arts and things like that, but also consistent with every program, there's definitely, we really like to encourage discussion, lots of questions by the audience and that sort of thing. So there's always, we feel that and are really proud that people leave a little smarter, a little more educated and
a little more
enriched.
Stimulated.
Right, exactly, exactly. So
there's a lot of give and take before and during and after the programs between the participants and the person who is delivering the program.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a big reason why I do think that the programs are as successful as they are, because our campus is absolutely beautiful. Folks enjoy coming to the campus, and then once they come for the program, it's a very non-intimidating sort of atmosphere, and the programs itself absolutely lend to a lot of people, thinking along throughout the program, jotting down questions maybe that they might ask once we open it up for a Q&A, that sort of thing. So there is a lot of interacting, which is great because, again, it's a perfect fit for the college that we are. But going back to your question about the variety of programs,
just give me some examples.
Yeah, some examples, certainly. They range from, we might have an author in to do a book discussion and signing. Those have been pretty popular. We have...
And they're often Penn State professors.
Yes, that's a great point that you bring up. Absolutely. We have a lot of very talented professors on campus, just a wide range of areas of expertise that they've written books on. So absolutely, it's a great fit, and it's a great opportunity for us to be able to give those professors at our school even a little additional exposure to people in the community. So that's a great thing. In addition to that, we also have maybe orchestras, The Old York Road Symphony has performed at the school as part of our cultural arts program. Albert Mintel Jazz Quartet is a biggie and a popular program that we have.
And that's presented at in the outdoor amphitheater often?
Right, absolutely. With the Jazz Quartet, we tend to always have that in spring, maybe the end of May, and we have a beautiful, beautiful outside amphitheater area where, of course, since it's just the four of them, you know, they set up, we welcome community members to bring lawn chairs, picnic baskets, you know, blankets, and everyone just kind of lays out in the grass area. Oftentimes we'll have a little water ice, you know. So
Penn State ice cream.
Penn State ice cream, we've done that when, of course, the budget allows for. So yeah, so musical type things. In addition to that, another thing that we have that's really great is it's important that, or it's at least important for me, that I oftentimes like to have a program that links with the Penn State Abington art club. So they might do a program that the students themselves, they create and they run, and it typically would reach out to children. Children and their parents would come for an afternoon and they would work on different art projects, things like that, that again our students themselves get a hand in deciding what they want to do, what the program looks like, that sort of thing. And it's really, really great for students on our campus that are interested in the arts and are possibly even interested in pursuing teaching. In addition to that, we also have, going along with the same vein, we have a a cappella group on campus called the Abingtones. And once a year we feature them, they put on a concert. And again, they're a recent group that we have here on campus, maybe just I think the second year going, but they are just composed of about, I would say, maybe 16 or so students, very talented students, and the concerts that they do are fantastic.
And I also am involved in the opera afternoon, Sunday afternoons at the Opera, which is coordinated with the Philadelphia Opera Company presentations. And they have been enormously popular. We have up to 150. I remember once we had almost 250 participants. We had to bring in a lot of folding chairs. And then another event that I'm involved in are the Friday night films. We present 4 films a year on a Friday night, and they've proved rather popular too. And I really enjoy doing these films because they're films that many people have not seen, foreign films, independent American films, and I think we do a real service showing opera and films that members of the community might ordinarily not get a chance to see.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And the real nice thing is, with having someone such as yourself, then people come and, you know, they get comfortable with the person who's moderating. They get very, very comfortable with you. They come to learn your style and know that it's going to be a fantastic evening or a really great afternoon worth their while. So I really think that's where our numbers of attendees really climbs.
And what would you say, on average, do we have for attendees? I know my programs tend to have between 75 and 130 or so participants. And there are other programs that do attract large numbers.
Absolutely. Oftentimes the number of attendees really just differs based on the topic or what the program is. I'll never forget, one year we had a Penn State Creamery event. It was hugely, hugely successful, and I'll never forget, we ended up doing it Saturday and then the very next day Sunday, and we had 200 people Saturday and 200 people Sunday. So yeah, I mean, the people coming, they knew they were going to be getting some ice cream at the end.
And you probably had Peachy Paterno.
Oh, we did. We definitely did.
To celebrate the Penn State football coach and the Penn State football team.
So an example would be that definitely on the larger scale as far as attendance, and then smaller, more intimate things that just recently we had a poet laureate on campus, and it was really nice because the attendance was a little bit smaller, maybe 25 people. So instead of having it in a larger lecture hall or an auditorium, we were able to utilize a smaller, more cozy space on campus to feature that type of
And one of the programs that I think we initiated this year that proved popular was our Oscar program. which we presented the Friday before the Oscars, and that brought a lot of attention. What are some of your favorite programs?
Some of my favorites.
Some of the ones that you think stand out and that you would recommend?
Well, you touched upon it by just mentioning that Oscars program. The Oscars program was absolutely fantastic. It was so much fun. We had talked about, about doing that for a couple years, and we finally saw the opportunity, and we were able to have a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed it because it's always fun to do programs that are timely, such as, something's going on either, in the news, or maybe, it's a certain holiday or something like that, and that oftentimes lends to people getting a little bit more excited and more people coming to the events just because they're aware of, something such as the Oscars that's so, so big.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to take a short break, Pam, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Talk about your time here at Penn State. What was that like?
It was a tumultuous time to be going to college. It was the late 60s, early 70s. There was a lot of anti-war protesting here and up in State College, and I was part of that. And there was a lot to be angry about, I think, as a student in those days. In addition, there were frivolous times and fun times. Playing intramural softball here was a gas, and it's a beautiful campus. And State College was equally beautiful. I did a lot of great things there. I joined the Glee Club. I joined the choir. I made the most of my years at Penn State.
My time is very valuable to me.
Lots of people depend on me for their everyday needs.
If you do go back, it has to be to a place that'll be worth it.
I needed a place with lots of options, with a great reputation.
Employers know the difference.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I chose Penn State.
Penn State Abington. Get to a better place.
Penn State. Everyone knows it.
Welcome back to The Lion Roars. We're discussing arts and cultural programs, and we've been talking with Pam Brobst, who is the Special Events Coordinator at Penn State Abington College. And we do have a program that's connected with Meadowbrook Farms, so we have, as our other guest today, we have Diana Weiner, who is an executive with Meadowbrook Farms and is in charge of volunteers and restoration. So welcome, Diana, to the program, and welcome back, Pam. Diana, could you tell us something about the responsibilities, your responsibilities at Meadowbrook Farm?
It'd be my pleasure. We have a corps of volunteers. We have docents that give tours of Mr. Pennock's historic home. It was built in the mid-1930s.
And Mr. Pennock was the establisher of Meadowbrook Farm.
Yes, he was. He opened Meadowbrook Farm as a business in the 70s, but it was a wedding present to he and his wife from his wife's family, and they've lived there since 1936. So the docents give tours of Mr. Pennock's home on Thursdays from 11 to noon. You could come to Meadowbrook Farm April through October, and then if you'd like, you can have a group of 15 or more come for a tour. So the docents give tours of both the indoors and the beautiful historic gardens of Mr. Pennock's estate. Of course, he would never call it an estate, just a place, as he was a very modest Quaker. And we also have volunteer gardeners, and they work with the estate gardener and the grounds gardener to help keep the 25 acres that we have that is Meadowbrook Farm today. It was once 150 acres.
And they still have a retail establishment there?
We have a retail establishment that is open year-round, and you can come visit the gift shop and look at beautiful foliage plants indoors, and right now the garden center in summer is hopping with lots of beautiful flowers, trees, and shrubs to buy.
Yeah, it is an absolutely beautiful place. And tell us about your restoration activities.
Well, I also wear another hat in the local community, and in Cheltenham Township, I'm the restoration manager for the Friends of High School Park. And they have been maintaining High School Park since 1995. It is on the grounds of the old Cheltenham High School, which burnt to the ground, and the Friends of High School Park decided to turn it into a native plant sanctuary. So over the years they've been doing that. They have a 10-year ecological management plan, which they hired me 2 years ago to help them. So what I'm doing is I'm helping them right now with a meadow restoration project, and we are restoring a 2.5-acre meadow and the edge of the meadow. But you can also walk through lovely shaded woodlands and then walk along the Tookanny Creek at its base. So a beautiful site, a nice, beautiful
And it
place.
sounds like a lot of work, too.
It is a lot of work, but there's volunteers, so many hands make for light work in both places, Meadowbrook Farm and High School Park.
And how large is High School Park, I mean, would you say?
11.5 acres
Oh, it is.
in all, yes.
And how about the farm?
And the farm, it's 25 acres, and we are lucky enough to have had a deer fence put up over the last couple of years. So that's
So it's
helped.
deer-free or
Yeah, well,
relatively?
relatively deer-free. They sure can jump over 10 feet, we found.
And can you tell us about some of the programs that you've done at Penn State through the special events program?
Oh, certainly. It's been a pleasure working with Pamela over the last couple of years. So let's see. Well, I've done a lot of hands-on programs teaching people how to make things with products that they can find right in their own yard. So we've had holiday decorations, and oh my goodness, I must have done about 15 different items, from kissing balls to swags, etc. they could see. Also, over the years, I've shown them what we do at Meadowbrook Farm behind the scenes to get ready for the flower show. There are up to 36 accounts, including the main display for the Philadelphia International Flower Show. So I've shown them how, starting now, we're collecting plants. Now the theme for 2012 is Hawaii, so we are collecting all types of tropical plants presently, and many other perennials and annuals. We will actually put them in a cooler, put them to sleep. We will simulate winter and a dormancy, and then bring them out in January and have them blooming in time for that first week in March for thousands of people to see. So the magic behind the flower show is another program. Oh, Pamela, what else have I done? I've shown them how to make containers and use different herbs and flowers and mix them up together and then change it out for the different seasons, for fall, for spring. So anything.
And the participants actually come to the farm.
They have come to the farm for some of the events, and in the last few years, you've invited me to the college.
So you've been at the college for some of the other events.
Yes.
That's fascinating about the flower show. Do you ever worry that these plants are not going to bloom in time for the flower show? I mean, is that a kind of a concern?
Well, our director, John Story, likes to say it's like a horse race in reverse. They all start out at different times, and they all have to end at the same time. So
Now that's a great metaphor.
it is a great metaphor, but with the years of experience that we have at Meadowbrook Farm, we know what is going to work and what isn't to start with. So we will guide the different garden clubs and different businesses that have displays and let them know that's not going to work, but this is a great alternative for the color, for the feel, for the texture you need in your display. So that helps.
Do you ever put in a special plant of your own in some of the competitions? Have
Oh
you done
yes,
that?
in the horticourt. In fact, I waited till I lived here for a year, so I waited to 2007 to put a plant in, and I actually won a blue ribbon. I was so excited.
And I bet you've won more since then.
Yes.
Don't be modest.
Yeah, she's so humble.
What is your background? I mean, how did you get into the flower plant business?
Well, I think it all starts with a grandparent. It was my grandfather who loved to garden, and I would follow him as a child in the garden. I have a degree in agronomy, which is soil science, and I worked
From what college?
from State University of New York at Cobleskill, and it's in
Okay.
Cobleskill, in the Catskills. And then I worked for 16 and a half years for Cornell Cooperative Extension. So through the Extension Service, I started their Master Gardener program. We had a garden helpline, newsletter, etc. And then I went to become the superintendent of Parks and Grounds at a historic hotel of America, Mohonk Mountain House. And then I met my future husband, who's the director of Meadowbrook Farm, and I came to Meadowbrook in 2006.
And I see you brought some plants with you.
I did.
So tell us a little about these plants. Why are they here?
They are here because it's not just getting rid of invasive plants. We also need to have some beautiful native plants to replace them. You don't want to pull things out unless you have something to replace. So today the taller one is Coreopsis, threadleaf Coreopsis, and or tickseed, and it's a beautiful full sun plant that'll bloom most of the summer. It's really quite lovely. And the smaller plant, the yellow daisy, is false sunflower Heliopsis. Again, it blooms for a long time. And you can see these plants planted around Abington. We have planted the Pembroke and Crestmont pool areas, and we have Everyone Can Garden. And so there's instructions in putting your own garden in, and how you can do it easily, and what plants are deer resistant, low maintenance, and can even be successful for brown thumbers.
And so these are plants that almost everyone or anyone can be successful with. Is
With
that
full
correct?
sun, yes.
With full sun.
With full sun.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you have those oaks.
I have oak trees on my property and a lot of shade. So we have a lot of hostas and ferns.
Yes, and they'll do.
But I'm going to try some of these just in case there's just enough little bits of sun that they might thrive.
Catch that shaft of sun.
Oh yes, I'll be working on that. As you can see, the Meadowbrook Farm programs are very popular in our arts and cultural series, and we want to thank Diana for coming on and telling us about Meadowbrook Farm. And do watch for future programs from Meadowbrook Farm and our other programs as well. Pam, can you tell us how to contact Penn State and become part of these cultural and arts audiences?
Absolutely, I would be happy to. We are always welcoming new and fresh faces, obviously, to enjoy our programs. And of course, we have, like I referenced earlier, a nice core of followers that we like to say are cultural arts followers. There's two primary ways that you can link up with us and join our mailing list. We have a mailing list that hits mailboxes. It's a nice, beautiful, full-color brochure, and you can join our mailing list, as well as within the past year. Now we have an email list, which obviously is real timely. A lot of people are oftentimes, already sitting at their computers and things, so it's really no effort. And with the email list, it's wonderful because what we do is at the beginning of every month, we'll send one email out to our subscribers, letting them know that particular month what events we're going to be having that month. So it's a little bit of a, a one-touch monthly reminder, so they can really stay on top of what programs we're having at the college. And like I said, the two different ways are you can either call us directly at the college. The phone number there is 215-881-7800, or you can go online. Go to Penn State Abington, which is www.abington.psu.edu. Right there, you'll come up to our homepage, and on the left-hand side, you'll see a link there for cultural arts. Click that, it'll come right up to our specific cultural arts webpage there, and you can immediately see how you can just register for either the mailing or the email list, or both.
Well, thank you, Pam. Thank you, Diana. And please join us for The Lion Roars.
Let's have a love affair.
time is very valuable to me.
Lots of people depend on me for their everyday needs.
If you do go back, it has to be to a place that'll be worth it.
I needed a place with lots of options, with a great reputation.
Employers know the difference.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I chose Penn State.
Penn State Abington. Get to a better place.
Penn State, everyone knows it.
I'm Martin Zide, and we are Penn State, and I think Penn State deserves an Emmy.